You are sitting on the couch and your cat strolls over, pads onto your knees, and begins a soft, oddly human-sounding chatter, a string of sounds that feels less like animal noise and more like the beginning of a conversation. It is funny, it is surprising, and it is not accidental. Today we are going to explore what happens when cats appear to chat like people, how they shape sounds to talk to us, what they are trying to say, and how you can respond in ways that deepen your relationship without confusing the message. Stay with me, later I will explain one very specific vocal trick cats use that is basically designed to get human attention, and it may change how you hear every meow from now on. Begin with a tiny observation you can try right now. The next time your cat comes to you and vocalizes, notice whether the sound changes when you move, smile, or reach for food. Make a mental note of a single change. That small detail will prove more useful than it sounds. Let us start by admitting a simple truth: cats are not mini-humans. They do not have our grammar or our vocabulary. Yet they are skilled, subtle communicators. Some of the sounds they produce are purely feline, hunting chirps and purring that evolved for social and physiological reasons. Other sounds are shaped by life with people: long, plaintive meows, urgent trills, and even little solicitation purrs that combine purr and meow in a way we find irresistible. The interesting part is that many of those human-directed sounds are tuned to our ears. Here is your first small curiosity. Researchers have found that when cats address humans, they often use higher pitches and rhythmic patterns similar to infant cries. That is not random. It is a strategy that triggers caregiving responses in people. It is a little manipulative and a little brilliant. Later I will show you a simple audio test you can run with your phone to tell a solicitation purr from a calm purr. We will break this down into practical pieces. First, the ways cats chat, vocal types and what they often mean to humans. Second, the mechanics, how cats alter pitch, timing, and rhythm when addressing people. Third, the social learning part, how cats learn which sounds get results. Fourth, the practical side, how you can have a better two-way conversation with your cat using timing and simple signals. And along the way I will give you quick experiments you can try tonight to test each idea. Let us begin with the most familiar, the meow. Most adult cats use meows primarily with humans. Kittens meow to their mothers, but adult-to-adult meowing is rare in cat-to-cat communication. With humans, the meow is versatile: short demands, long complaints, soft requests for attention. Ask yourself, does your cat use a different meow for food than for petting? That distinction is common because cats learn what works. A long, repeating meow at dinner time has been rewarded before, so it is likely to appear again. Next is the trill or chirrup, the quick, pleasant-sounding greeting. Cats often trill when they are happy to see you or when they are moving you toward something. A trill can be a friendly, initiatory signal: come with me or look here. Try this micro-test. Answer your cat's trill with a trill of your own, a soft, gentle chirp with your voice, and observe the reaction. More often than not, the cat will approach and the interaction becomes reciprocal. That feeling of exchange is the first step toward conversational rhythm. Purring is complex. We covered some reasons for purring in another video, but the important point here is this: purring can be social comfort, self-soothing, or even a solicitation when combined with other noises. Some cats add short mew-like sounds into their purrs when they want something. That blend is not accidental. It catches human attention by mixing the soothing sound of purring with the urgency of a meow. It is worth listening for. There is also the chattering at windows, a sound that looks like a frustrated conversation with birds. That noise is part excitement and part mimicked hunting pattern. It is not directed at you in the same way a meow is, yet it still conveys affect. Your cat is engaged and agitated. If you respond by turning your attention to the window and narrating what the cat sees, you create a social loop. The cat notices your interest and may return to you with a different vocalization. Let us talk about rhythm and turn-taking. Human conversations follow a rhythm. One person speaks, the other waits, then responds. Cats can mirror that pattern in a loose way. Many owners report brief exchanges where they task with a question-like inflection, and the cat replies with a short sound. That is not language in any human sense, but it is patterned interaction. You can build this pattern by pausing after your question and allowing the cat the space to reply. Pause and listen. Let the cat answer. It is a tiny but powerful habit that invites more back and forth. Here is a short, useful experiment to try tonight. 3 steps. First, choose a neutral signal you will always use to start a conversation, a soft hello word, a short trill, or even a gentle hand wave. Second, use the signal once a day in a calm moment and then wait quietly for a reply. Third, if the cat replies, offer a brief, predictable reward, a stroke or a single kibble. Repeat this daily for 5 days and record whether the cat's response rate increases. That tiny conditioning shows you how flexible cat communication can be. In a moment I will tell the story of one cat that learned to mimic a human cadence to get attention. Cats are excellent learners when it comes to human feedback. They notice cause and effect, this sound, that result. If a plaintive meow yields food, the meow becomes more plaintive over time. If a low murmur yields stroking, that murmur will be repeated in similar contexts. This is associative learning, and it is central to why some cats seem so conversational. They are not reciting vocabulary, they are refining cues that reliably change human behavior. There is also social contagion and mimicry. Some studies and many anecdotal reports show that cats adapt their vocalizations to match the sounds that elicit the best response. For example, cats living with humans who have higher-pitched voices sometimes produce slightly higher-pitched meows themselves. That kind of matching is subtle but real, and it explains why a cat in one household may sound different from a cat in another home. Now I will describe a single, dramatic example of vocal adaptation, a cat that learned to mimic the cadence of a particular human phrase to get attention. The story is a clear window into feline ingenuity and shows how finely cats can tune their signals. Let us be practical for a moment. How do you speak cat in a way that the cat understands and that keeps your household calm? First rule, be consistent. Use the same sound or gesture for the same request. Consistency gives the cat a stable mapping between signal and result. Second, do not reward frantic or anxious behavior. If a sound is frantic and you immediately meet the demand, you reinforce anxiety. Instead, wait for a calmer variation of the sound and reward that. Third, create predictable routines. Cats are rhythm animals. If dinner is always signaled by a short, calm clap and a food puzzle, the cat will learn to respond to that calm cue. A short anecdote: one owner I know had a cat that learned to meow in a pleading, almost childlike cadence every morning. The meows were effective, but they were exhausting. The owner changed one small thing, a minute of calm engagement before breakfast and a delayed food response for 5 to 10 seconds. The cat quickly learned to make the calmer request because that version produced the result faster and more reliably. Small changes in reinforcement shape the sound. Now for the reveal I promised, the solicitation purr. Some cats combine a low purr with a high-frequency squeak in a rhythm that mimics the acoustic pattern of human infant cries. This mixed frequency is especially attention-grabbing for human ears and for the caregiving instincts humans have. When you hear that strange hybrid purr, it is often not a neutral comfort sound. It is a request. The good news is that once you can hear and identify it, you can respond strategically, offer a calm interaction if you are available, or redirect with play if you are not. That recognition gives you power to choose the right response. Here is another experiment you can run. Record a short clip of your cat vocalizing during a request. Play it back and listen specifically for high-frequency squeaks layered over purr. If you hear them, label that pattern as solicitation in your mental checklist. Then, for the next 3 days, respond to that particular sound with the precise action you want to encourage: a small food puzzle if it is about feeding, a 1-minute attention ritual if it is about contact, or a brief play burst if it is about activity. you will see how refined the exchange becomes. There is also an ethical side. Do not anthropomorphize to the point of error. Cats can appear to talk like people, but their motivations are animal: food, comfort, attention, safety. Our job as caregivers is to translate those motivations into humane, effective responses. That means reading body language as well as sound, ear position, pupil size, tail movement. All of these modify the meaning of the vocalization. A meow with flattened ears is different from a meow with soft eyes. Before we finish, I will share a simple rhythm trick that can make your cat answer like a tiny conversation. Let us return to the how to list. Clear, usable steps you can put in place tomorrow. 1. Choose a single, calm cue to begin interaction, a soft hello word or a short trill. Use it consistently. 2. Pause and wait for a reply. Give the cat time to make a sound. Pause is the conversational space that invites turn-taking. 3. Reward the calmer version of the sound or the appropriate behavior immediately but briefly. Keep reward small and predictable. 4. If the cat uses solicitation purrs, redirect with a planned response: food puzzle for feeding requests, play for activity requests, gentle petting for social requests. 5. Keep a 1-week log, note the sound, the context, your response, and the result. Patterns will emerge quickly. A final thought: the most communicative cats use a rhythmic back and forth that looks almost like dialogue. It is not language, but it is connection. If you cultivate that rhythm, you will find that your cat is not just vocal but conversational. To recap, cats chat like people in the sense that they shape sounds for human listeners, they use rhythm and timing that allow turn-taking, and they learn the exact sounds that change human behavior. The core practical idea is simple: listen closely, be consistent, and reward the calm, effective signals you want to encourage. Recognize solicitation purrs, respond strategically, and you will have far fewer misunderstandings. For more warm, science-backed explanations of cat behavior, check our playlist, Why Cats Do That. If you enjoyed this exploration, subscribe to Catopedia and tell us in the comments one small vocal habit your cat uses that surprised you. Which sound does your cat use to get your attention, and what will you try tomorrow to shape it into a calmer, clearer conversation?